everyone, and welcome back to Real Talk with Delphine. I have the pleasure this week of hosting not only an amazing businesswoman, but also a really great friend of mine. So I'm very excited to introduce you all to Stacey Dieter from the Dieter Agency.
Thank you so much.
American Family Insurance. How are you doing today?
I'm doing so good.
Yes.
It's a beautiful day.
It sure is a beautiful day. I'm actually kind of warm, and it's the first day that I'm not wearing leggings or tights.
I know, it's nice.
I'm kind of excited about it.
Too bad.
Yeah. So Stacey, tell me a little bit about what you do and about yourself.
So I am an American Family Insurance agent, your friendly American Family Insurance agent. I've been in this industry for the last 7 years, and I love it every day. I feel like I get to learn something new every day. And it's just so exciting, you know, you never fully know everything. I feel like a lot of times with like management positions or things like that, you kind of just get stuck in the grind, and it's management, but it's also really knowing the insides of your product very well. So I really love that about what I do.
So when I met Stacey, you have to know I was a working mom, and I showed up in her office, and she just had a baby.
Yeah.
And so it was a little while ago, and she just had a baby, and I remember how strongly I relate to you. Because as a working mom, I think we struggle a lot more than we want to admit. And
100%, yes.
Yes. And for me to walk in an office where baby was there and mom was just, you know, trying to keep our shit together like we do. And I just remember being like, okay, I'm in the right place. I was referred by a friend who said, you have to talk to Stacey. I had just moved to Montrose, and I'm just so grateful that you're now in my life.
Yeah, I'm really grateful for you too. And you're right, moms do struggle, and especially like women in business, like moms who are making it happen in business. We got like the baby on the hip, the thing in the ear, we're typing away on the laptop, and balancing and juggling all those priorities. It can be really challenging sometimes, but
Yep.
I feel like as women we're incredibly capable and kind of made to handle those types of things.
We're made to handle it, but we're also really hard on ourselves. I remember I was so unforgiving to myself to say, do one more thing and one more, you know, the house is not neat enough or this is not good enough. But I remember meeting you and feeling this connection of a mom who understands me and who's okay admitting that, yeah, today's a rough day. So I remember that, and since that day, I felt that our friendship has not only grown, but I got to know you so much better, and I'm very grateful.
Yeah, I'm very grateful too. It's been beautiful.
So tell me about your team, because what I love about this office, and we're sitting in Stacey's office today, is that I always feel at home when I walk in. And I will tell you, unfortunately, I don't always walk in, you know, when you just had a crack in your windshield or you just had a crash, and I had a hit and run at City Market on the parking lot, and I just walk in this office like, you know, my life just ended.
Stacey, help.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. So tell me more on how your team is here, who's helping, and what support do you have?
Yeah, so my team is something that I'm incredibly proud of. It's taking cultivating over the last couple years, because everybody knows 2020 was a crapshoot. So, you know, in the few years following that, I had to really rethink my hiring process and like what I really needed and wanted for my business. And it kind of led me down this path of thinking that I would only ever hire people part-time. And with what we do, it's very detailed and customer driven, and you have to know what you're talking about when you talk to people. And you can't do that you can't come into something for 20 days or a month and really know what the intimate parts of our business are in dealing with our customers. So I hire people part-time, and I switched to that model, and I now have 3 full-time staff and 2 part-time staff. And it has been fantastic. Just to know, I had one, you know, they start part-time and then they work their way up to full-time when they're ready, when it fits their life, when it's something that they're willing to be able to give all the time to. But at the same time, they're helping me by giving me that 16 hours or that 24 hours a week that I need to have paperwork handled or calls made, whatever the case may be. So it's been really beautiful, and I'm really, like, it is something I take a lot of pride in, the fact that I had a mind shift. I was like, oh my God, I figured out how to adult and be an employer. So I've got Chantel as my office manager, and Chantel's absolutely fantastic. She's so detail oriented. She's like my right-hand person. And anytime I need anything, I'm like, Chantel, please help me. And I hand it to her, and like literally like 5 seconds later, she's like, done. And I'm just like, oh, thank gosh. Because, you know, as a business owner, like, you get overwhelmed. Like, I get 150 emails in my inbox every single day. So it can be overwhelming. It's nice to be able to delegate things off to Chantel. We
and
also
trust that it gets done.
And trust that it gets done. Yep. I also got Stephanie Ochoa Espinoza. She's been with my agency the longest out of all of my staff. She's been here with me now for coming up on 3 years. And she's bilingual, and also started kind of in the same journey of starting at the bottom and working her way to becoming an agent. And her help has been invaluable. But a lot of us in this office are all moms. And so I do my very best to be aware of their schedules, their life, their kids, and just give a lot of grace, because life happens and it's not always great. And I come from a corporate background, so like to say that I have a lenient schedule is like really weird for me, because in my brain I'm still like, no, you got to be there at 8 and you got to leave at 6:30 and you got to, you got to do all these things. So the way that we work now, we're all kind of semi-part-time. We work like 4 days a week. We all have a day during the week off. And it just really provides a lot of balance. You need to be able to have a day to take your kids to the doctor, or go to therapy because you're stressed out, or hike on a mountain because you're stressed out. Like, you need to have time to go do those fun things and care for yourself. And so that's how, that's really what I've been working towards with how I employ people. That's totally off the subject of Stephanie, but she's fantastic. And if you, si necesitas aseguranza, por favor, llama Stephanie Ochoa.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I speak a little bit, just enough to, take people's money.
Yo comprendo todos, pero no hablo bien. So we'll stop right there.
Yeah. And then my other staff member, I've got one remote staff member. They work out of North Carolina for me. They were my first remote hire. I was so nervous to do that. I was like, how do I know that I can trust, and like, this person's going to do their job? And they were, I think, an IT programmer. Now they are a business consultant. That's like their day job. And they work about 20 hours a week, and I literally shunt all my paperwork to them, and I'm like, do this. And they don't answer the phones, and they just crank out paperwork. And that was a huge help, because I kept getting bogged down in just like servicey type things, and I shouldn't, I should not be doing paperwork at the level that I'm at, right? Like, I should not be doing paperwork. So was able to pass that off to them, and they were hired about 2 years ago. And then Marissa Bennett is my most recent new hire, and I feel like I manifested her and she manifested me, and somehow the universe like brought us together, and it's been fantastic. I told myself I was not going to hire unless somebody came to me and they were already licensed, and I didn't have to do a lot of work, and I didn't have to go through that they already had experience in the insurance industry. And one day we were out at the Kids and Family Expo last year in October, and she came up to my booth and she was like, hey, I need to call you about my insurance. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to help you out. And then she was like, hey, are you hiring? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm hiring. Tell me more about yourself. And she's like, well, I have all my licenses. And immediately I was like, it's like the universe just dropped like in my lap. And I was like, okay, we're going to make this work. And it really turned out well. I feel like her personality fits well with our team, and we all complement each other.
Is it Marissa Bennett who does Gold's Gym on the weekends?
Yes, she does.
Oh, I know Marissa very well.
Yeah, she's working with me
phenomenal.
3 days a week now. And I just love her energy, and she's excited, and she wants to be a part of something. And she gets the work done. So.
And I think we underestimate energy in a team. Energy is so important. It is so crucial to work with the right people.
Yeah.
I've been, even in real estate, sometimes I have clients that I'm just like, I have the perfect agent for you, but that's not me.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the energy does not flow and it just doesn't work out that great.
Yeah, I mean, everybody, different strokes for different folks, right? Mm-hmm. And so I feel like we have a really good balance in our team of people who are like chatty and like want to talk to everybody, and people who are like, I'm just going to sit down and do this thing. And it works out pretty well for us. So
that's amazing. Great to know.
Thank you.
Well, and so we all know how insurance is important. Stacey also does these great presentation at Business Intentionally Grown when she goes with the finger guns. I love it so much. Anyways, we'll talk about BIG in a little bit. But back to insurance, not only do we know how important the right partner is in insurance, but tell me a little bit more about what's happening in Norwood right now and how important flood insurance is even in Colorado.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to have to disappoint you a little bit because I feel like my understanding of what happened in Norwood was like a levee break. So not a massive amount of flooding, but enough to impact a few homeowners. And that's just the thing. I was giving some facts out today. So, a couple facts about floods are that, number one, they are the largest and most devastating loss in the United States. The most common floods are. Number two, only 4% of homeowners have flood insurance. So you're thinking like,
wow,
how many people own homes and only 4% of them have flood insurance? And number three, just an inch of water can cost tens of thousands of dollars in damage to your home. So when you think about all those things combined, it's like, dang, I should know more about flood insurance. And what I would encourage everybody to do is, if you have not met with your agent in a long time, give them a call, give them a ring. If you're interested in knowing more about flood insurance, I'd be happy to chat with you about that. But one of the cool things we have to offer with American Family is why I love our products so much, is because we kind of like already thought about that. So we have an inland flood endorsement on our homeowners, condominium, and renters insurance policies. And we'll pay for damages on your home you have two options, up to $25,000 per flood or $50,000 per flood. And that's a really affordable way to get it without having to go to FEMA or, the National Insurance Flood Program and buy a standalone policy. So we can just click a box and then you got it.
Great. I'm all about data, so thank you for that data. That blows my mind.
Yeah, I saw that AmFam put out some statistics the other day, and I was like, holy moly, like that is wild. It's wild that only 4% of homeowners have flood insurance. And not everybody's in a floodplain, yes, but oftentimes you'll have a flood occur randomly because your neighbor left their water on in their yard, things like that. Yeah. So if you have a river or a pond or something overflow, like all of those can be considered floods too. It doesn't have to be necessarily a flash flood or, massive amounts of rain. But those things will certainly lead to floods happening as well.
Especially with the soil here, because it doesn't absorb the water whatsoever.
Yeah, that's true. I would say another important thing about flood insurance is that there's usually a wait period. So you cannot buy it when your yard is getting full of water. So there's usually
too late.
It's too late. It's a little too late. There's usually a wait period with flood insurance. So if you are truly interested in that, or maybe you've had that happen to you before and you're like, I should get that, call your agent, talk to them. I know American Family, we have a 14-day wait on our flood endorsement on adding it to your homeowner's policy. The National Flood Insurance Program is a 30-day wait period to buy a flood policy. So you have to wait a whole month. And if you're like, rains are expected on Sunday, you're kind of out of luck.
Too little, too late.
Yeah.
Yep. So let's go back to BIG, because that's really close to my heart.
Yeah.
So BIG is a networking group called Business Intentionally Grown. It happens every Tuesday at 8 a.m. And I remember the days when it was just you, Chris, and I.
I know. We've grown so big.
So
big.
Big.
So big. It's wild. And it's really fun.
It's so fun. And everybody who joins will tell you that the referral network is quality referrals. that you're just not wasting your time. And it's only an hour every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. at San Juan Brews. So tell me, how did you think of B.I.G? How did it start? And how can we share the word and really inspire people to join us?
Yeah, lots of questions there. But
Yeah.
what I will say is I cannot take all the credit. I did not start B.I.G, though I have been kind of carrying it, seeing it through. You know, I did not start B.I.G. It was actually started by a realtor and a lender here in town. And a couple of years ago, I partnered with them, and I thought, gosh, this is really something special. This idea has a ton of potential. And so I asked them to help out. I wanted to help. I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to know what it was about. And through a couple of meetings, it was really just focused on getting businesses together to network, to get to the point. Tell me what you do. Tell me what types of products you have, and tell me what type of client you're looking for this week. And just hearing that and like having that be like the main point of conversation. How many times do you go to a networking event and you're just standing there awkwardly waiting? You're like, here's my card. What do you do? I'm going to talk to you about for 15 minutes. And, you know, there's really no structure. It's really not scripted. You're kind of hoping for the best. And this format really gave business owners the opportunity to come and say, hey, this is what I do. This is who I am. This is what I need to make money. This week.
That's
this is
what
I need this week.
Is the specific of this is what I need this week. Because my needs change every week. Your needs change every week, or at least every month. It depends on your business. But this is what I like most, is that we get to be so specific and say, this week I have a client who needs a contractor who can do this. Or this week I need a buyer who has a specific need. Or this week I need more sellers. Or like for me, I love going there. Or even for this show, like I can ask, this week all I want from you is to share the real talk with Delphine. And I feel so connected to everyone at B.I.G. And even in this core family that we have, I feel I get to be vulnerable because we have goal-oriented meetings as well, monthly.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can be myself, and I can be vulnerable, and I can ask for what I need in my business. And that's pretty powerful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole goal of it, is really to get you in and out. And I feel like many business owners don't learn until it's too late how important networking is for your business. How do you get more clients? You need to meet with more people. How do you meet with more people? You organize an event, or you go to an event, or you get yourself out in public, or you knock on doors, or, you know, whatever you do, you have to put yourself out there. And so building this forum from what it was, because I do still kind of stand in awe in some of these meetings, and I'm like, wow, there's 30 people here. And then I think back to like 2 years ago when I was like stoked if there was like 8 people, including like me and you together. I was like, oh my God, it's so good. I can't believe we had people show up. But it just goes to show that when you are consistent with something, when you put it down and your heart's in it and you really believe in it, how you can grow something that's really meaningful. And I'm very grateful to be the face of it. I'm very grateful for everyone who's involved and supported us and invited new business owners in every week to kind of spread the message, but also to help them grow their business and to get referrals and to get money on the books. Because the bottom line at the end of the day is you need to have a good and profitable day.
Yeah, and the results are stunning. I mean, honestly, I'm blown away every time I go. And I love also the networking tips from Chris. Yeah. Because there are things sometimes that we don't think about, and we know we have a networking event later that day, and it's like, how do you make that event profitable but really productive, and not just shake hands and kiss babies and think business is just going to come. Be intentional, be specific, and ask for what you need. And I really learned that from B.I.G. And I see the benefit of it every week. And when I miss it, I'm sad that I had to miss it.
Oh,
I am every single time.
Yeah.
So thank you, because it's something that I enjoy every week. I bring new people, and I love to be part of it. And I'm proud when I bring new people, because everybody's like, how did I not know about this?
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it's wild when you think about it. It's like such a simple idea, like give people a platform to talk about themselves, and get other business owners that are in different areas all together. And so we've got photographers, we've got lenders, we've got realtors, we've got fitness professionals, we got the car shop guy, we got an advertising guy, we've got the lady who walks our dogs, Jill, who you just interviewed last week. She walks my dogs. I love her so much. Like, she's inspired me to get off my ass and walk my dogs. Like, she walks my dogs, and now I walk my dogs.
All of them have this trust. What I'm blown away by the most is the trust that we have in one another, and we try out each other's businesses, and we're just like, oh wow, I can really attach my name to these people.
I think an important thing about it, though, too, is that we don't limit businesses. So I think this last week we had 2 photographers. We've have a couple of personal trainers. We are not there to say that, oh, I'm the only insurance agent. We've got 3 insurance agents that come in. So I'm not there to tell you that you can't come because you're an insurance agent and I want all the business. Here's the thing about people. You could be the sweetest Georgia peach in the whole world. You could. And there would still be people that just absolutely abhor peaches.
Yes.
All right? And so having a network of people, all different kinds of people in the same industry or not, really gives you the opportunity to pick, this is the person that I want to build a business relationship with. This is the person that I trust is going to do right by me and what's right for my family. So the fact that we're not limiting it to certain, only one person for each type of profession, I think is really kind of magical too, because we've got insurance professionals of all types, we've got fitness trainers of all types, we've got photographers of all types, and we all get along and we all see our business grow. They're all getting referrals every week. They're all talking to people every week.
Well, and everyone has different strengths. I love the even collaborations that I've seen between the insurance agents and some photographers and other things.
Yeah.
And the collaboration opportunity and the learning opportunity to be like, oh, wait a minute, this is what she does in her business. Very cool. Maybe I should meet with her. Maybe I should learn from her. Maybe I should do something that is different than her so I can stand aside.
Yeah.
And so I have witnessed collaborations in the same industry, which is, again, inspiring, right?
That's huge.
Yes, it's
fantastic.
Huge. It's huge. And talking about that, Josh is our junk removal professional.
Josh is great.
Josh is phenomenal. And he comes to B.I.G every Tuesday, and he's going to be our interview next week. So don't miss us next week, Thursday at 4 p.m. for the Real Talk with Delphine with Josh. And it's High Desert Hauling is the business. Yep. And again, come to B.I.G on Tuesday at 8 a.m. Come meet Stacey.
At San Juan Brews, 8 a.m. every week. We will be there.
You have to see the finger guns. It's worth it.
There was some earlier. I hit him right on, so hopefully he'll get it right in. He'll get the shot.
Yes, 100%. Is there anything else you want to add today, Stacey? Thank you so much for joining me.
I would just say, I do what I do because I help people. And one of the best ways that I can help people is by talking to them about what they need for their insurance. So if you have not talked to your insurance agent in a long time, I would really strongly recommend that you do that so you're not surprised when you have a claim and something's not covered or this, that, and the other. Insurance companies are always coming out with new coverages, new endorsements, things that you might find wildly valuable to your coverage. So give your agent a call, talk with them, and just make sure that you got everything good to go. So
I would say that for me, education is huge.
Yeah.
And knowing what I'm signing myself up for is really important. And with Stacey, I know every line item. I know what I'm paying for. And I also have no surprise when I have a claim. Unfortunately, I have lots of those. So
don't say it on
haven't
camera.
been lucky though. Like the water claims, not my fault. Like most of them are not my fault, to be fair.
Listen, everybody has streaks in their lives, all right? It happens to the best of us. But can I share a story?
Yes.
I do remember one time I was talking with Delphine, and And she comes to me, and we had just raised her rates, unfortunately. It was a very sad day. And she comes to me and she says, I'm so stressed and I've had all these claims and I just feel like life is telling me to slow down. And I am her insurance agent, I have her motor vehicle record in front of me. And I would say, yes, I think life is telling you to slow down, Delphine.
After a speeding ticket. Yes.
I wasn't going to say anything, but I was looking at it.
Yes, 100%. And so that was like the best quote. Yes, Delphine, I think life is telling you to slow down. And I still have to remind myself that every day. Yeah. So I do need to slow down. I'm lucky to have a partner who reminds me of that. But it is true. It is true. I'm also, on a side note, the only one who did not pass. What is it called? Safe Drive?
Oh, our Know Your Drive program.
Anyways.
Yeah. We won't talk about that. But you could save 20% by, installing an app on your phone and monitoring how often you speed or brake or, speed or brake, essentially.
Is it a 5% discount?
It's a 10% discount just for downloading the app.
Yep.
And best case scenario, you're the best driver we've ever seen. You save up to 20%. There are 3 of my 3,500 customers that have done that. Worst case scenario, you only get 2%. There's only one of my customers that I know that has got 2%. We won't mention them here. But most of the time, people keep saving like 10 to 15%. And so it's a great way. It's a program. It's about usage-based insurance. So we're really tracking like your mileage and how you're driving and giving you a credit based off of that. If you're the worst driver that we have ever seen, we will not raise your rates. You still get 2% off. So
that's right. You still do 2%.
Still get 2% at least.
Yep. Anyhow, so great to see you.
I know. I love you so much.
See, don't be afraid to be vulnerable and expose yourself, even on the internet. It's all right. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
Yes, thanks for having me.
I appreciate your knowledge. I appreciate everything you do. If you are looking for an insurance agent, or if you haven't talked to yours in a while, or you're online and you don't have this contact, trust me, when something bad happens, this is where you wish you had an office to walk through the door and talk to someone, because I know that those moments are very, very difficult and challenging. So thank you for all that you do, and thanks for coming today.
Happy to be here. Thanks.